Hello, everyone, and welcome to Technogate 2000, a Mage the Ascension tabletop game that we play on Twitch every Monday. We normally should be starting at 7 o'clock, but we've been gathering and talking, hanging out for for usually the first hour. So I apologize to anybody that's been like trying to expect us to be on it at 7 o'clock Central Time, but we are here. We're back. Right now, Phaedra, unfortunately, will not be with us today. She is going to be out. So at this point, her character had been gotten mauled by a werewolf, and it's very much like Phaedra to just take a bunch of drugs to heal herself, and now she's in a coma. Not coma, but just comatose, tranquilized, knocked out, not feeling the pain anymore or reality. It doesn't matter. It's all getting healed up. So she's going to be all better. Um, but in the meantime, she's going to be knocked the fuck out. Uh, Other than that, we had two major events that kind of happened. Two events that happened. One major, one that was as scary as fuck, which was that we'll start with the scary as fuck one, which was Tycho, Gretchen, and Phaedra faced off against, and Kyle faced off against another werewolf. Kyle was not very useful because he was a clone, which is going to be another thing you guys are going to have to deal with Phaedra knocked out. That'll be an interesting one. Um, was attacked by a werewolf when they were trying to get to the crystal. Um, and this black spiral dancer nearly killed them. Basically was trying to rip apart Kyle for some reason. And then they were able to turn it into a human, and Gretchen just kind of came behind it and pulled the trigger, you know, the back of its head, and kaboom. So yeah, that fucker's no more. But they are fucked up a little bit. Phaedra was at mauled, I believe. Um, so yeah, there was some scratch. Gretchen, did you get hit at all, or was it just? Was it? I think he just beat the living shit out of Phaedra because she was protecting Clone Kyle, and she didn't know that he was Clone Kyle.
Yeah, I was able to sneak around, so
I
I
think
did not get hit.
all right, so other than that, Malachi had met up with Buck Samsonite, the father of Tycho, and he had gone to Inventium with him, and Inventium's reality was being distorted and fucked up, and all of the like inventions were coming to life and trying to kill and destroy shit, and everything was kind of going nuts for a while at Inventium. Malachi helped out protect um, Buck Samsonite while he designed the bomb, got it all set up to do what he needed it to do, and then he teleported in Malachi and himself into, or he teleported. No, he didn't teleport Malachi. He just teleported the bomb once he was all set up, and he was able to get it to basically destroy the um, the crystal that was infecting the realm there. So Malachi was brought up to speed with what's kind of going on here, and we're going to be starting off the game with Malachi, Tycho, Gretchen, and Phaedra, passed out Phaedra, um, all arriving at the Tycho's mother's house. I'm just going to call it Tycho's house from now on. So Tycho's house is where everybody's kind of meeting up in the living room right now. Let's go ahead and start off with giving a round of introductions here real quick though. So Tycho, tell us a little bit about your character and what does he look like, and give us a little bit of a description of your house too, just to paint a setting for us.
Okay. So Taiko Vance is a white male in his late 20s, about 6'1". He used to wear lots of metallics, but lately he's been doing the grunge look. His hair is pretty getting kind of longer now. Uh, he grew up at the local construct here in Madison. His father was the legendary adventurer Buck Samsonite, who disappeared when Tycho was very young, and his mother uh, was in charge of the research and execution division here at the construct. Um, Tycho always blamed himself for his father's disappearance, and at the age of 18, kind of went on a little adventure with some werewolves that ended in tragedy. And when he got back, his mom got him a job on Technogate Team 42. And her house is a classic split level. So you've got the garage on the bottom left, first floor up to the right, and another floor above the garage up to the left. And then through correspondence procedures, there are a bunch more levels that you can't see in normal space. It just kind of keeps going up. And there's different numbers of levels depending on, what levers you pull.
Awesome. Thank you, Taiko. And Malachi, tell us a little bit about your character and what do you look like?
Malakai was raised in a military family, enlisted in the Air Force right out of high school. After serving a tour, he was noticed by the Technocracy for primarily his usage of firearms, skills in combat, and also proficiency with power systems. He spent most of a tour hunting reality deviants, eventually getting his own team before accidentally, in quotes, air quotes, making friends with a handful of reality deviants, and then pending investigation was demoted, cross-moded, promoted over to being security on TG-42, where he was to serve out the rest of his contract tour. He is 6 foot tall, got long shaggy hair, dresses very casually, unless it's a mission. And now he's, after the events that happened on Altered Earth, he's just sticking with the found family and doing his best to keep them alive.
Epic. Thank you. And Gretchen, tell me a little bit about your character and what do you look like?
Hey everybody, Gretchen Fury is a white female around 25 and she's about 5'7". She has a pet familiar named Steve, who is also an infiltration specialist, stealth specialist like herself. They've been a dynamic duo since she was about 18, and she's grown up through the technocracy, but without any parents really. So she's kind of just like a human hit mark that passed all the tests. She has both gray and black suits for the NWO. But since she's kind of figured out that the world is crumbling around her, she's dressing a little bit more casually in a leather trench coat and some knee-high boots and some just general wear. And she has decided that she will never ever delete from the book of the Technocracy the pages about the black spiral dancers. That will definitely stay in the new Technocracy.
All right, so Taiko, as you enter the living room, you can see, Malachi, as you enter the living room, you can see Taiko and Gretchen hauling in a mauled up, which looks to be healing up pretty quickly, but tattered clothing, kind of mauled up, or I don't think she didn't get clawed up because the werewolf just beat the shit out of her after. It was like kind of claws, but it was just fingernails, but.
Definitely not as bad as it could have been.
Right. So, she just looks beat up, but looks like she's healing. Like you can visibly see like the healing kind of happening.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw her on the couch.
Are there two Kyles in the room now?
They point at each other. Who are you? What are you? What's going on here? And the spell that you guys had breaks because you guys had the trigger kind of set up so that if you ever saw the other Kyle, that you would know all the stuff that you did.
I immediately go, oh crap, I forgot about this. And I take Kyle back out of the room and I start to like mentally prepare him for the fact that he has a clone. But just to let them do the same to the clone.
Did we build anything into the clone that it like, I don't know, passes out or dissolves when it sees original Kyle?
It has a wonky eye. That's all I know.
It's got a wonky eye.
Phaedra bit.
Yeah, I would say Phaedra didn't say anything about like a self-destruct mechanism built inside of it. Malachi, I want you to make a charisma plus empathy roll, difficulty of 8.
Okay, all right. That difficulty makes me want to think about another way I might be able to do it.
You just knock him out.
Yeah, I'll do. Can I spend a willpower under the idea that the perspective that I'm going to come at it from was that, yeah, this is really weird as hell, and it's something you're going to have to deal with, but it was done to keep you safe, because otherwise it would have been you, and you would be looking like her, directing the attention to Phaedra, or worse. And I will give you...
Yeah, I'll lower the difficulty to a 7 for that.
Alright.
Also
Fair enough.
remember that you can always do the inverse of what you guys normally do, which is using skills to enhance your magic. You can also use magic to enhance your skills, and do an Arate roll. Every success lowers the difficulty by 1 up to a minus of 3.
Unfortunately, my spheres are not very
Conducive to that.
applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I mean,
mind
I could
would
hold
be the
down.
one that you'd really need in order to do this one.
If
Shock
I had
therapy, maybe, you know, if you could really, if you like, I'm just gonna shock him until he.
if I had intimidation, I would use that to be like, "You will calm down right now, good sir."
Yeah, that is yeah. You scare the shit out of somebody to not freak out.
Not a whole lot of dice on this. Need a little bit of got it to luck.
There
Got
you
the luck.
got it. Yep. All right. So you had 3 successes. You calm him down. You know, he's like, okay, I get it, man. This is fucked up, man. It's fucked up that you didn't tell me more than anything. Like, I mean, but you did tell me, but then you made me forget that this is fucked up. But it's okay. I understand. I get it.
Well, it
Fucked up though. It's really fucked.
can't
What are you gonna
deny-
do with him?
we didn't really get this far. We're gonna, probably talk as a group and maybe put his mind on ice, or we'll keep him. It's not like we're gonna kill him or anything, but might digitize him.
Mike was
there's
talking
options.
about killing him.
I know he was, but like,
Like,
I'm talking about
does it have a self-destruct mechanism that upon seeing its duplicate he would just explode?
I'm just trying to make him just like, you let him know that we have options. It's not a crazy one of them are going to die. That's the only option type deal. So
I think you guys, though, it is really weird that you guys have made a clone. It's a little weird. Not a game.
It wasn't meant to be long term, though.
No, but I mean, it was just meant to be something that would encapsulate.
and that's kind of the problem, is that we didn't think about what would happen if it went long term.
What happens
we just
if
thought
this
about
didn't work?
Can I find Phaedra's gun and see if I can work out which darts are the trank darts? The sleepy time darts?
Yeah. So yeah, Tycho and Gretchen, you have the same problem with a freaking out, but much more mindless and not very, not quite having the abilities of. I can't imagine that it's
Still
an example.
describing Kyle just without magic.
Yeah, basically.
Like, I feel like all the clone has said is, whoa. Like that's it.
A little bit. And so
We'll be like, this is my worst nightmare.
He did point. so we had the Spider-Man thing, but you still need to like maybe calm him down. He's like kind of freaking out a little bit, you know. So are you gonna calm him down, or are you gonna shoot him with a trank dart? You can find a trank dart. I'll say that's pretty easy.
I'm just gonna shoot him with a trank dart. I know it's a clone now.
Ah, yes, okay. So
I
he's
have
down.
no empathy for clones. I have been in the technocracy for long enough. I know you're trained. When you wake up and find out you're a clone, you resign yourself to your fate, and quietly allow yourself to be made redundant.
Section 75, Book of the Technocracy, subsection B. Done.
Yeah. If you find out you're a clone, die with dignity, please.
I mean, some of Gretchen's best friends were clones, but
Yes.
just get them to like the tanks. There's always a clone tanks there. Let's go.
Well, I'm just gonna shoot him with a trank dart.
Yeah, no,
For
that
now.
first. Yeah, that first.
All right, cool. So he's down. The other Kyle is cool. He's fine. Everything's fine now.
All right. I'll bring Kyle back into the room and then just tell him that there's a good chance, a real good chance, it's going to end up being your decision on what happens to him. So I want you to spend some time thinking about that.
You telling that to Kyle?
Yeah, yep. And you
Wait.
should go to the kitchen and make some coffee for us.
Okay, and he just walks off. Like, what the fuck?
He's got a lot of thinking to do. That's.
I feel like classic.
I love how
team.
I love how you just dumped it right on his fucking lap and was like, "Now this is your problem." By the way,
Well,
you didn't even know
honestly,
you made this.
The more I think about it,
we made it for him.
We have a checklist of like 10 things to do. Like, time. Yeah.
Well.
Oh, and anyway, Malachi, we were attacked by a black spiral dancer. We almost didn't get out of there. And
holy shit!
We probably should have let that black spiral dancer kill that clone, but we didn't know it was a clone. So that was rough.
That was I guess that next time we do that, if there is a next time, add in the thing. If you're in extreme danger, you immediately, learn the truth. Just because, if you would have known.
We'll remember that for next time.
Next time, yeah. So, we had an external activation of the gate, and I just go and find a chair and like sit down.
When that happened, did you text us? I vaguely remember that happening. And
I did text you. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What happened with that?
Well, I didn't want to screw with you on your mission, but your dad came through. We exchanged pleasantries. He seemed to actually be your dad, based on my intuitions. He said he needed some help, and so I grabbed my armor, and he grabbed a bunch of gear that I guess he knew was still there. And then we went over to Inventium. Maxie's place. Near Maxie's place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, turns out, these crystals are not only here. There was one on Inventium that I helped him blow up. He seems to have an affinity for releasing large amounts of energy in a very short time span. But yeah, crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, where is he? Where's my dad?
Well, that's the thing. I don't have spirit, or I'm sorry, I don't have dimensional science. And so I saw him. He was in the flesh. I started asking him a bunch of questions, and he kept being like, "I'll explain in the future," and then he did explain. He hasn't solved his the time spent on Altered Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's called void adaptation. He's basically made of spirit stuff now, and he can't come back to this plane
Okay.
without
He
falling
is, of course, it would be your dad, but he is skilled enough to come here for short periods of time. And it was when we reactivated the gate, it gave him that gave him a point to come to. Yeah. He did give me a frequency to contact him on, along with a frequency to contact Maxie, which I haven't even gotten to the reason that we would need that, but I'll get there. And your mom.
And my mom's still out there too?
Yeah. So as it turns out,
Holy shit.
jumping back, we blew up Altered Earth, right? And then we got screwed with that. We lost a year of time.
Yeah.
Your dad was able to run the calculations with Sosie's assistance and actually ride her off the wave out into space. And the problem is that the Nameless was still out there doing things. Like, we'd heard him, we'd taken away a huge leverage points, resources for him. We damaged his plans, but he was still out there. They came up with a plan that would trap him permanently or kill him. And they went to enact said plan. This is your mom, your dad, pretty much anybody that has any kind of ability, along with the traditions. They were working with the traditions on this. And so a whole bunch of masters went out into space to lock them away. While they were out there, Avatar Storm happened. And that locked them out there. There's something about the Avatar Storm. It's very... there's a lot of question marks associated with that event, actually. But so, they are also all spirit stuff now. Sorry, I don't know a better way to say that, but that's just the way it is, I guess.
Well, they're not dead. They're just different now. So how was my dad able to overcome the Avatar Storm to get back and forth between Inventium? Or is it just not happening anymore, but they just can't get back because they're made of spirit stuff?
The second one, Avatar Storm, just ended as quickly as it started, about a month after it started, and nobody could come back, except, again, your dad's a smart dude, and his tricks weren't working at first to bring him back, but with the addition of us turning on the Technogate, that gave him enough components that he could come back here for the few minutes he was here.
Okay.
Yeah. It is good news. He survived that blast. Sosie kept him alive. Gonna have to give her some premium oil or something. Here coming up, maybe put some additives in the gasoline. I don't know what she likes, but she was able to keep him alive.
Trying to think of the what is it? The resonance of primal energy. She probably prefers a certain type of resonance.
Yeah.
Premium gas.
Yep. So, yeah. It's there's other stuff involving these crystals. They're actually working on them out there. But I do have, and I shoot a text message over to you, Snapchat. I don't know what the encryption would be and it includes Maxie's, the frequency that you could contact Maxie on, the frequency that you could contact Buck on, and the frequency you can contact your mother on. And so I probably should get into what he was actually doing there. I just wasn't. I just want to make sure you have that.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Sorry, Gretchen. A lot of this is maybe you've read the reports, but is referencing things that happened at the right before we disappeared for a while.
Yeah, I've been able to follow along. And then she'll like just pat Taiko's shoulder awkwardly as like she'll be like, sorry about your parents being dimensionally spliced. And then she'll be like, Kyle, what's taking so long with the coffee? And then she'll just take a swig from her flask anyway.
Yeah. The shit. I had an angle I wanted to come at it. So what we did, what he was doing, like I said, had a bomb, blew up one of the crystals. Actually, seemingly destroyed it, and that's what Max is working on. She's going to come up with a process that will help us to destroy them while we're out there. But apparently, there's 9 of these crystals on Earth, and there's also 9 of them in the Umbra.
Are they the same 9?
Maybe not. So he destroyed one, but that happened like pretty much, I don't know, maybe less than an hour ago. And so they're still working on the aftermath. They're not sure if they're. My prime intuition tells me that they're linked in pairs between one on Earth, one out there. And he said that basically I was absolutely right and extremely smart for figuring that out, but we needed more data to be able to prove it. So, we're getting there, but he's been tracking them down out there.
Like out in the Umbral realms?
Yeah, where he can operate. He also suggested locations of several. 3, specifically, that they have already found. And he's working on the other 6.
You mean here on Earth or in Umbral realms?
In Umbral realms. I'm not 100% if we have all the locations of the ones on Earth. The interesting thing is that he somehow triggered it when he was doing his testing. Like he was telling me all of the different things he was shooting at it. Most of it went over my head, but basically he's pummeling this thing from a whole bunch of directions, and it's just getting stronger. It seems to be just absorbing anything that you would put at it. And so he said that just a little while ago he decided to flip the script and try to pull from it. And when it did that, it got extremely defensive. That's when, like, I didn't actually say what happened. I had to like shoot a bunch of like walking tables and automatrons, and it basically gave artificial life to things that it had already corrupted in its area as a reaction to him starting to pull energy out of it, pull energy from it. And it started spreading faster when that happened. And so I guess it's good that we didn't really screw with it. Yeah, basically, it has defense mechanisms, and it's a good thing we didn't actually screw with the one on Earth in any real capacity, because I would have hated to have it was bad. It was very much just imagine everything that's been corrupted in the Arboretum so far. Suddenly really wanting you dead. And also that corruption starts spreading a lot faster.
Yep, been there.
And so that seems to be the takeaway of if we're going to screw with these things, we might want to wait to deal with the ones on Earth until after we have Maxie's assessment.
Okay.
Maxie's great, by the way. She's super.
Well, that's good to hear.
So
I seem to remember Phaedra having a certain fondness for her.
yeah. The main concern, well, one of his concerns, there's a whole bunch of them. Obviously, this is a lot of stuff. Was if the destruction of this crystal is going to have effects on others, and so I agree with him that if it is important that we either head out to the dreaming or we start to try to isolate these ones. I'm sorry, not the dreaming, the Umbra, or we start to isolate these ones on Earth.
Okay. Did he indicate that they have any knowledge about Beelzebub?
Yes. Only because he was describing the events with the Nameless. And it seemed to be opportunistic based on the way that my interpretation of it. The demons, and not just Beelzebub, seems to have started something. And so, I mean, he did say that they tracked the Nameless to heaven after the events of Altered Earth. Not 100% sure on the timeline of this, but basically he went to heaven and then he was fleeing heaven and they were able to lock him down while he was in the in-between space. They kind of created a temporary, I don't know, planet or something there and then blew it up. But because he was in the in-between space of transporting between these realms, it is disconnected. He was getting really esoteric, and I don't have a dot in spirit, so I was trying to keep up with him. But he was super weak when they found him, I guess, when they trapped him. And they were able to destroy at he should be gone. It's possible that he's not, but he should be gone. Dad was very confident that he's that just the way that he works, I guess. That
it's almost as far as I remember, it's almost like one of his superpowers. My dad just has nothing but confidence.
Yeah, that's if you have done the things that he's done. Anyway. Yeah. So good news is that your dad, your mom, and all the missing people are alive in an altered state. So that's good. He did say that there are pockets of survivors of the Technocracy, but the Technocracy was hit really hard during the Avatar Storm. They tried to come back when the Avatar Storm first started happening, and he was talking about there's masters who would just get ripped apart by trying to approach this storm. And so they just didn't. They all just stayed back. And it ended up with them becoming spirits, but at least they're safe.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it's only been a year. There's other stuff that happens to you once you've been a spirit for a while. I haven't read enough documentation on it to really know, but they don't talk about it lightly.
And then I just shout towards the kitchen, "Hey, Kyle, did you hear that? There's a good chance that your family's come in here when you finally get that done." And then I just tell him that his family's alive and just trapped as spirits once he gets into the room.
Wait a minute, what? So they are dead?
Nope, just currently cannot physically come to Earth.
I don't know. You said they're spirits. That sounds like something's dead to me. He comes out with the like coffee and he's like I've been listening while I've been making the coffee, by the way. Like this is some heavy shit, man. Did you say fucking heaven? That ain't real. He like pours like a coffee thing, drops it.
I
Well,
pour
Kyle,
the alcohol in all the coffee cups that he has there because I start on mine and then I just go sharing and I just go around and I'm just like, Kyle, your family has a angel guarding its library and of course you're the atheist of the family. Just okay. And I take a drink. I
ain't brainwashed by that foolery.
Oh, actually, Kyle, do you know anything about that Gabriel in your... It presents a question to me that I didn't have before. Do you know much about his creation or his existence?
No, just that he's been the guardian for like, I don't know, hundreds of years of that thing. I don't know. I don't talk to him. He doesn't like me. I don't believe in him. I say he's just like a fucking. He's basically just a guard. He's not an angel, dude. He's just like a fucking guardian thing. He gets all pissed off. He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I mean, he never said "fuck you," but basically he says "fuck you." I know what he's saying. I translated it.
Did you guys? I'm now addressing Gretchen and Tycho. Did you guys get a sense that like he was off? Like he wasn't, there was something a little bit weird about him.
Well, I did a mind scan and he doesn't seem possessed, but it is a little bit weird. He would tell us all this stuff instead of an actual Helson and then say that Kyle's a pawn. So I don't think that's normal hermetic protocol, but that's just me. Big
yeah. Buck had we're on first name basis now. Me and Buck, we're good friends. He had casually mentioned a theory that he had, and it made me look at that interaction in a new light. He believes I don't want to say he believes it, but like this is what the best that the Nameless went to the heavens, to the origins of angels and demons, and somehow fucked with or got fucked up Yahweh.
Okay, that one's pretty beyond me. I mean, I know that there's a realm out there that kind of mirrors the belief structure of Christianity, but it's still all just spirits. You're making it sound like my dad thinks there's like an actual heaven.
Well, I mean, how strong would a spirit need to be before you might easily recognize them as a god, especially in their own plane, in their own planet? Might all be spirit stuff, but there are some very powerful spirits out there, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, dimensional entities can become very, very powerful. in their own
And
realms.
if we are to believe the things that they believe that would power that realm, both angels and demons come from it. And we're currently having a demon problem. So, kind of connected, I guess. Again, I'm not big into the spirit stuff. I do know my stories, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, GM question.
Yep.
When we interacted with Beelzebub, was I ever able to scan him for, like spiritual auras or anything? Would he have?
He would
Was I able
register.
to?
If anything, I would say that you guys have like a scan or an idea, and based on all the readings that you have on what demons are, and like there's a lot of like stuff that you guys kind of have on demons, is along with, I think you did get a scan off on them. If not, we're gonna give you it anyways. But
We were watching the inside of his
the
mind.
way
for a
that you
bit there.
interpret what I would say, the way that your character, from a GM point of view, if I could give you a suggestion of how your character would interpret a lot of this data, would be along the lines of, it's demons are spirits that are inhabiting the body of a human. And they're powerful spirits, and they're different than the normal spirits that you've run into, but they're like, in the sense of like what they can do and shit like that, and how they interact with reality, and what their powers are, that definitely is off from what you would normally think a spirit would have. That they have a more powerful form than what they're revealing when but they seem to be inhabiting human bodies at this point. And there's I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that you would know directly about that, but I mean, basically,
what about
yeah.
their
Oh, go ahead.
name magic? What, like, aren't they the ones that are like all about true names and stuff?
That's mummies.
Oh, they're all reality deviants to me. Never mind. Ignore Gretchen.
I mean, I think
that
demons do have some true name stuff with them, but there's demons have like different areas of reality that they're in control of, basically.
Do angels fought? So, like, biblical angel is like, I don't know, it's got like 30 eyes and shit. They're like all eyes and rings. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Is that the spirit form, and then they can take a human form to, or take possess a human in the similar way as a demon? Granted, again, with different motivations, but
Yeah, I would say. Well, let's do a everybody do an occult plus intelligence, difficulty of 8.
Yeah, see, this is where Tycho's knowledge
Phaedra.
goes very bad, because I don't have a cult. So what I'm getting towards with all this is, Tycho is very familiar with transdimensional entities, spirits, things that are in other dimensions, but he's starting to think that these things are different, and this current description is kind of saying that they're not.
I have 4 successes.
Oh, right. Well, Gretchen, so in game terminology, and Tycho, you would actually be rolling at a difficulty of 10 since you don't have the skill at all. And it's a knowledge.
Well,
Normally, knowledge is you can't even, not
Yeah.
supposed to roll if you don't have it, but I like to just give a +2 difficulty, +1 if it's the other tree over, and then if it's a talent. So yeah, skill, I think, is anyways, going away from that, doesn't matter, you got a 0 anyways when to botch. I was just checking to see if you got a botch, because in any case, Gretchen, so in game terminologies and stuff that you know about this kind of occultic stuff, is that there definitely does seem to be a mythical divide between the difference between angels and other spiritual beings and stuff like that. More but not really. Actually, I would say not really. There isn't really much of a difference between a spirit and an angel and all that kind of stuff. That would all be the same kind of stuff. Um, and in fact, actually, you would know that there are multiple like things out there that call themselves gods. Um, and according to like occultism and stuff like that, there's um, different things that might have created different beings. But there is a difference between just the normal demon that like I would say almost they're like a lesser or not even really lesser. There's the more common demon, I would say actually, is very different from the demons that you're dealing with now. Um, According to this mythology, the demons that you're dealing with now are things that have been locked up for a long time, and only some have gotten out through time, like a very small amount. Um, and most of them have just been locked away ever since the beginning of humanity for the most part. Um,
So can I relay to Tycho? This is how I'm thinking of explaining it to him, since he is asking very specific questions. Is that the collective consciousness, whether they've heard a story or they are actually part of this faith or whatever, has deemed these particular spirits of a certain level doing certain things, and they all got grouped in a thing. So this is like they're more powerful than just your random Joe Schmo for Mori or whatever. These are actually like the collective consciousness, like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. Like they're high level, they're like, and they have the ability to come to Earth. They're not just stuck in some realm. This isn't some invention appearing in Inventium and, causing havoc. This is like a concept becoming real, inhabiting a human, and having motivations. They're like the highest form of spirit you can have.
So for someone with no spirit, a response might be uh, an oversimplification, but yes.
All right. Well, that's good because those are the ones that I'm familiar with.
So, okay, so everything's been corrupted. The Hermetics thing got hacked. But if the Nameless hacked the librarian angel, then who is sending all these werewolves?
Oh, well, the librarian angel was. That's why I was asking him if he knew how it was created. It might be like regularly polling. Like every time he spawns inside of that room, it might pull a new copy from the actual Gabriel. Again, it comes down to how it's made. But I was just suggesting that, yeah, if there could be some tomfoolery there that results in that angel, maybe being able to speak his mind a little more than he would otherwise choose to.
Yeah, spirits, I mean, dimensional entities of that sort uh, respond to kind of the thoughts of sentient creatures throughout the universe. So,
Yeah, it's just really a question on whether or not they created it once and he's just locked in there and is isolated from everything, or if he's constantly being, downloading the latest updates.
yeah. Well, I mean, that opens up an idea. We could go back and uh, do some deep scans on it and see what minds, if we can backtrace it to a mind that's affecting its demeanor, because it might
Yeah.
be specifically affected by a certain mind.
Oh, and that would it would point us towards. But is he going to let us just like? I don't think he's going to be
Oh,
too happy to see us even.
yeah, I'm just that's a far off possibility. It would
Okay.
probably take a
I
long time
think
to
the
set any
best
kind of
thing
thing
that
like that
we
up.
need to do right now is figure out where Beelzebub is in Madison And where the hell is the rest of the Helson family?
The other thing about Gabriel too is that he's not a real angel. He's a
He's a facsimile.
he is much
Mimicry.
more in line with what you guys normally deal with when it comes to angels and demons and other things like that, which is just it's from the umbral realms and stuff like that, but it's much more of the fantasy concepts of in standard spirit, a lower level of spirit to a certain
I mean,
degree.
for all we know, he could be something like Sosi, just in an angel form rather than a car.
Right,
Like-
basically, exactly. It's like the embodiment of
And I did a
Gabriel.
mind scan on him, and I think it was pretty okay. I didn't botch or anything like that. And like, I thought his intentions were weird, but I thought he was just influenced by the family tree. Like, you know, in terms
Yeah.
of mentally hacking him, it's going to be like impossible. We need a better Helson family member to do that route, and we need and like we need someone with a higher clearance level. And
Yes, yeah,
I
more
think
knowledge.
I think if we're trying to figure out how to defeat these demons, we have some items, but you know, if we want to deal with hunters, they might have some tools we're unaware of. And so I think while we want to deal with the crystal, Maxie's working on it. While we want to send out more clones, Phaedra's asleep. I think right now we need to figure out where our top ally and enemy is. And do some good old fashioned reconnaissance. And like maybe she'll have like an action pose with Steve or something like that.
Dun, dun, dun.
It is like Steve runs up. He's like, "Oh crap, we're doing the pose. I gotta get in a
Yeah.
position."
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. So one thing I would like to do is to start marking these crystals. So then when Maxie is ready, we can just start hitting them.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably like a giant GPS supercomputer in the base somewhere. Do you want to have it start an algorithm that we could write some code for together?
Didn't we already find the locations?
We found some of them. I don't think we found 9.
The ones that
You guys
Oh.
have seen. You did have 8 locations. You did have 8 locations, but you kind of had like rough ideas of where they were on Earth. And then Malakai has 3 locations in the Umbral realms.
So let's input those new Umbral Realm ones and see how they overlap in the general areas, you know?
Okay. So the ones that he said that he found already. This is the Buck found. That there's one in the Dreaming, one on Mars, and one on Autochthonia. And so we can go and potentially find one of those. And hopefully we have more information as to the relationship between the one that was destroyed and its pair, if there is a pair for it, on Earth. I just am very confident that we do not want to dick around with the ones on Earth until we're ready to. If we trigger their rapid expansion defense or animating defense, it could get really nasty really fast. Here.
Did Buck say the crystals were because of the nameless or something, or because
That's
above?
That's the thing. No, he didn't think that. The crystals, they hit, and they were an event that happened in very close proximity to, but he didn't think that it was actually caught, like the nameless caused it. He didn't have like a name or anything, but they do all seem to have some sort of ties to the abyss.
Well,
Wasn't that where
Beelzebub
Beelzebub
paid
was from?
off
Yeah.
the most recent Black Spy Overdancers to kill us in the Arboretum. So I feel like we have to find a locale or a follower or something to infiltrate his network to see what's going on. I got in his brain once before. We can do it again. Especially some low level grunt. Hell, that cop tried to kill us because he didn't like Kyle's face at one point, so
Wait, what? You guys got
Yeah, we got pulled
by a
over.
cop?
yeah.
We got pulled over by a ghoul.
Wait, aren't ghouls vampire? Aren't they related to vampires?
Yeah, they drink vampire blood. Wait, do I know that? I probably know that.
Yeah, you've dealt
think
with
did
vampires in the
some
past
research,
and
yeah.
ghouls. Yeah,
So
that's in-game stuff you've actually done.
Yeah.
So slowly, Beelzebub is creating a network of every reality deviant type out there. We
And
need to figure out how far this is systematically spreading. And also, Gretchen will just do a quick check on the computer to see if the locations create an inverted pentagram at all. Probably not, but just check.
on a sphere?
She's one
The Mercator
occult
projection.
dot. She is like one occult dot. That's it. That's all she knows.
You know a shit ton about this particular topic right now.
She was just really glad the number was 9 and we didn't have to deal with 666 of these crystals. Okay? Like, that was a relief to her mentally. So.
The 666 locks that must be unbroken before Lucifer can be set free from hell.
I mean, a lot of these numbers aren't matching up with like a lot of just general like movie demonology, There's more than 7, so we're not looking at the seals. There's more than 4, so it's not the horsemen. There's less than 666, so
and yeah, it doesn't come with a pentagram at all.
No inverted pentagram. Just
Wait, was it 8 or 9? I can't remember now.
You knew of 8, but your father is saying 9.
Okay. We know of 8 on the Earth, right? Because we like cross-referenced news stories and shit.
He said like 8 on the planet and possibly 8 in the spirit dimensional realms.
Well, no, you guys know of. Well, okay, so you guys know of 8 on Earth, and he believes that there's 9 in the spiritual realm, and he believes that there would be a 9th one then on Earth.
Yeah, because theoretically, the ones on Earth correspond 1-to-1 to ones in the Umbra.
Right, and then so in Madison there's one, so there's the one in Madison is included in that 8 that you knew, then so there's one more that you don't know of where it is on Earth.
Ooh, I hope it's Antarctica.
And then there are 9 of them that he believes are in the spiritual realm. He's basically there's like spiritual disturbances that happened, but he's trying to find where these things are. And also that comes down to so he's given you the realm location, but he doesn't know the exact location of the of where the crystal is in that realm. It still needs to be located.
Autochthonia was kind of like, it's such a weird paradigm there. It's pretty obvious, but like there's one in the dreaming that's freaking huge. Like
there is like resonance stuff that will allow you to like track in on it to a certain degree. But it's the spirit world, so it's not as easy as just, walking in the same direction. It's kind of it's a wonky world that you'll have to like futz around with trying to actually get to wherever it is. It might jump around a little bit, or depending on
Gretchen's
how the realm
like
Yeah.
works.
looking at
Mel-
everyone and being like, Beelzebub is here in town, and he's in a human form that we can shoot. Anybody with me? And we have a clone
Uh,
for him to possess. Points to back to tank, or at least in general direction. So
yeah, probably not. Based on the power level, I'm not sure if that would be very smart to go up against him direct.
I mean, Kyle's family is just a bunch of hunters that all get like some special weapon, and they're like been doing this for years. We're the
We
Technocracy.
we do have a knife called the dagger of Cain.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that might help us with maybe infiltrating his vampiric network.
we do have the book of Beelzebub.
I
Maybe
mean,
we
we
should
have his
read it.
diary. Yeah.
No, we did. We guys did read it to a certain degree, which is why
Yeah.
you know some of this stuff too. Which is, you know, this stuff, you know, seems to be a little bit different than the normal demons that you've dealt with, normal things that, and stuff. You know, stuff being locked up in the abyss is kind of, you know, in line with a lot of shit that you guys had dealt with over the years. Because you guys do have all the shit from Muddin as well, and Muddin's laboratory in the abyss that you can always go back to.
That was hard enough getting there in the first place. But yeah, maybe one day. So the thing that I actually want to do here is we know the locations of 8 of these crystals on Earth. Can we go back to the Technogate construct and use some of their stuff there to scan those locations and see if there's been any major change since, they blew up one of them in the Umbra?
That's a good action. Yeah, go ahead and make a um you know, if you want to just use normal tech, or not normal, but if you want to use hypertech, you can use some of the
Yeah,
hypertech
straight up hypertech.
satellites that are back up and operational now that you guys got most of Technogate going. Difficulty
wow.
6. Um,
Well, it's not a botch.
Not a botch, but even at a difficulty of 6, Taiko like goes in and checks it all and is like, no, you don't detect anything. Nope. So maybe it was the 9th one that you don't know of, or maybe you didn't scan one.
That's what I'm going to go with for now. Can I try again at a higher difficulty?
I'll let you try again at a difficulty of 7 if you
So
want to try again immediately.
want to go at it from a different perspective, kind of thing.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we do, I don't know, a teamwork. I don't know what's called in Technocracy Ritual. But basically, we each kind of put our own thing in. With Malachai's been around this umbral crystal, he can input code in that. I have a pretty high level of correspondence. I can kind of geolocate the ones on Earth, see if they have specific ratios or whatever. Tycho has dimensional science. He can add what he thinks is resonance and blah 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 blah, and we could just write a new program code to try to find the 9th one now that we have more data from the dreaming and stuff in there. So like, I'm basically saying teamwork, let's do it, help it be easier.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
try to find the 9th one.
Oh, I think that we should get a good read. I feel like we'll be able to get a better read on even the current known locations than whatever satellites and default sensors that they're using.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we're writing a program to narrow down any ones that are just like general area. We can cross reference it with data in terms of like constantly checking the news. So maybe this is something that we don't get a result right away, but maybe it like over time it'll, update with an RSS feed or something. And then we also have, adding on some definites in the dimensional space to create more of a 3 dimensionality, but in terms of all the levels of time and space, even though some of them are sometimes perceived as outside time and space.
Yeah, as best we can do. I am.
I'll use hypertech to model all of space-time in a hologram, in the local Earth space,
That's
and then you guys can overlay some data.
I'm gonna do a little bit of research to know for the correspondence / data aspect of this, if I can do a complementary role with research to know which um, sources are the best, kind of like Men in Black style from the movie. They threw away, like NPR over their shoulder and they got the tabloids instead. Like, what is going to help us best? Is it pulling from, NASA, or is it getting crap from like some random Angel Fire website on the internet type deal? So
Okay, yeah. I love it. So you guys are looking to do this as a teamwork procedure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Tycho and I want to use our perspective abilities rolls to lower the difficulty as a complementary roll possible before we start.
Yeah, so I would say yeah, you can use like whatever ability you feel or skill feels um, correct for the procedure that you're going to be doing. Sounds like it'll be a lot of uh, I mean, if you're going to be going down the routes of like going through websites and stuff like that, I think that would be more along the lines of computers. And then you could also do like research, which could also be doing papers and stuff like that. Um, but in general, I'll let you kind of choose that. I'm not going to be really restrictive there. So let's go ahead and have you. What I want you to do though is before your roll, I want you to kind of explain what you're doing as your part of the procedure and how you're doing it. And we'll do an Arate roll. I'm gonna make this a level 3 spell that you kind of are doing here. Um, with a lot of parts of it just being level 1, truthfully. But so the difficulty of it will be a base of uh, 3 plus 3, so 6. So base difficulty 6, every success you get above your first will lower the difficulty by 1, down to the lowest difficulty you can get is 3 for your Arate roll. But so we'll start off with Tycho. What are you doing, and what skill do you feel is applicable here?
All right, so I'm building the holographic matrix that we're going to overlay the data onto. So there's already a holographic projector in one of these rooms here. And I'm just going to get it ready for all these different data streams. And then also, mostly spirit magic or dimensional science magic on top of that, since we're dealing with a lot of umbral mechanics. So it's a hypertech roll to lower the arret.
Sounds good. So go ahead and do that roll. And while you're doing those rolls, Malachi, go ahead and explain what you're going to be doing and what skill you feel is applicable.
I'm spending willpower on this.
And also, I don't know, we'll forgo spheres right now. I think that we know its correspondence and stuff like that. That's being all added into the mix.
Yeah, I will be bringing Prime to the table is the primary, and I believe I'm going to be doing it via resonance. I wish I had just one different sphere in that could be any of these, and it would help dramatically.
What do you need? Because I could always chunk that into my thing.
I know that I'm sure correspondence is the most important one. Entropy would be nice. Spirit would be nice. One thing I was going to inquire about. I was attacked on Inventium by mechanical constructs that would not be considered to be life forms. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yes, yeah, they weren't alive or anything. They or animated objects.
All right, and the idea that I have already experienced it in person, well, actually a couple of times now, I would like to add matter magic to it, specifically looking for the weaves of matter that are associated with the corruption that the abyssal crystals impart.
Okay.
And the role for that, the role that I'm going to suggest for that is going to be. Oh, I don't like any of my options. You know, I think I'm going to. You might not like this, and you can tell me if that's the case. To utilize meditation in that I know that I'm working right on the edges of my knowledge spheres, the areas of my knowledge, and I need to stay focused. So, wits and meditation.
I'm gonna allow it. I like it.
Oh, I don't feel good making that argument, if I'm being honest.
I'm gonna be easy on you though.
I appreciate it so much. And so I'll roll that, and then I will roll my arret at whatever it comes out as.
All right, so go ahead and make those rolls. And Gretchen, what are you going to be doing, and what skill are you using?
Okay, so I feel that I'm doing research, and I just Googled it, and Ancestry.com came out in 1999 and was named different things previously from 1994. So, because that was an added bonus I wanted to do. So, with her correspondence level 3, entropy level 2 just for luck, and I would like to roll an intelligence plus research roll. And kind of basically like really just like college student this and like pull like I said, going to like verified sources doing certain things. And I want to add like verified sources about this crystal, people doing research paper about like maybe like we had a readout of like what the crystal was, like different stuff like that, like bio papers, matter papers, like that kind of thing. And then also pulling different things from ancestry.com by adding different classifiers in for the esoteric things that we've been given: Book of Cain, Beelzebub, um the Helson family, hermetic stuff, basically creating like a super keyword engine for this that will hit um type deal, but like in the specific realms we want, with like cross references and stuff like that. So I'd like to use my complementary role as intelligence plus research.
Love it. Perfect.
I don't have a ton of that, but that's definitely what it is. I can't justify investigation, like especially since there's research and investigation at the same time. I don't know. I have more an investigation, but I think it's more of a research thing. The librarian in me is being like, no. So, what's
You
the
gotta be
difficulty?
true to your word.
What's the difficulty for?
6.
Okay, you got it. I'll spend a willpower. Good thing I did. 2 successes.
All right, so then you get lowered by difficulty of 1, so you can do your Arret roll. So we've got 5 successes, 2 successes so far for Arret, it looks like.
Oh, I didn't do my right. So so I go down to a difficulty 5 for this
Yep.
roll. My contestant is based off of my genius, right?
Yes. So your standard what's in your body is based on your quiescence, and how much you can spend per turn is based on
Okay,
your
I got one
genius.
more. I got one more to use. I'm going to use it. So I'm at a difficulty 5 now? 4? 5?
4.
Okay.
4.
All right. And I'm going to willpower this as well. I'm really tired. Okay. Let's see.
Oh.
I spent a willpower though. So it's just a
And
failure.
you did get, and yeah, it doesn't matter anyways. Yeah, it would have just been a failure anyways because you at least got one success. So you did get no, you got 2 successes there. And 2 ones, and then you spent a willpower, right? Or did you spend just quiescence?
No, I spent both.
Okay, so
I
then you get
willpower
one success on that.
Yeah.
So all right, so everybody got at least one success. And quite a bit more from Malakai. Malachai's like just intense meditational focus on what he's doing, like just goes into this like blur. And yeah, so he seems to like figure out where the hell this thing is more, seems to be helping more than anybody else, but everybody else added a little bit to it. And so you guys are trying to find out where the 9th final one is located. And this is located on the North Pole.
I knew Santa wasn't to be trusted. Okay, so so does this also cover our baking in, reaffirming the locations of the other 8?
Yeah, I'll bake that into that whole thing. That you don't know the exact location, but you have it within like a 50-mile radius.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, and with that, those now 9 locations, can we kind of take the slider back in time and look at if there's any disruptions in any of those locations over the past 24 hours?
Also, if
Whenever
there
that
was
happened.
a Helson living in that area at the
Ooh. And if we can't do a time thing, if any of if like one of these things is not like the others,
What's our highest level in time that we got?
garbage. I'm confident
this
in
wouldn't-
saying.
How many do you have,
1,
Tycho?
but just 1. But no, this wouldn't be a time procedure. This is only looking back through the data. This is...
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying you can add in more stuff to like kind of, you can enhance it to make it much better if you had above 1. One you might be able to. I'll like add that into the thing here. And I'll bring it down to, yeah, you have like about a we'll bring it down to like a 1-mile radius, we'll say. So that enhanced you actually pretty good. Because that's a good idea too. So I'll bring it down to 1 mile basically.
Okay. The thing that I'm looking for though is, did any one of these locations change?
Did any of them
significantly?
change?
Like at the relative time that we think Buck blew that up in the invention.
Yeah, so good. That's also really good. So I'm gonna say yes. That you are able to locate that there was what looked to be like a minor explosion that happened to the one on in China.
Is it still present, or was there just an explosion at it?
It was in the middle of the wilderness, and it was there seemed to be like an explosion that happened there. You don't have much more information.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. You should. I'll let you relay that to Buck and Maxie. They might appreciate that knowledge.
Josh, I was wondering if with what I was adding with the Helson family, if that we were kind of cross-trekking with like Ancestry.com and passports and stuff, since I'm like a part of like every single fucking agency possible. Like if there were any passports stamped or whatever around the areas of these crystals, like where are they congregating?
Um, where are the crystals congregating?
I'm trying to figure out if the Helsons
Oh, if
like they're
you
going towards crystals. Yeah.
yes, so that is one thing I'll give you is that you do kind of get a correlation that there are when the crystals crashed, there was like Helsings that were kind of sent out to each one of these kind of locations, it seems like, and all of them are presumably dead now.
Okay.
But they did
I-
seem like they were investigating.
I am very confident that they were all skilled enough to be invited to the big Kill the Nameless out in space event.
I mean, I feel that they procreated enough to have more than one pawn, though. Or at least given a clone a passport. They're hermetics.
You're saying there's more Kyles out there?
No, I don't want to say that. I'm saying that
We're making enough. I mean, that was a joke in poor taste. I apologize, Kyle.
oh yeah, Kyle, you're here.
Kyle has been listening. He's kind of sad now.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at Kyle and be like, Kyle, if any one of your family members, Kyle, just while we're working on stuff, literally fucking call or text every single family member you know. Oh wait, texting isn't a thing. Is texting a thing? I don't remember.
Yeah,
There's a
texting
little
is
bit of
kind of
texting. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
texting.
would be like, call every single family member you know, and I'm like, here's the greatest tool in a detective's kit, and I just put down a pen and a notepad, and I was like, tell me who picks up.
Okay. I'm pretty
I
sure nobody because I've done this before, but okay. And
has your family ever talked about taking a vacation to places seemingly impossible? Perhaps Atlantis, or the moon, or
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah.
Mars would probably be a real. Have you ever heard
Definitely Mars.
any place they might congregate that might be off-world?
we did have a Horizon realm that I don't know, it got all fucked up during the Avatar storm from what I understand, and that's a lot of my family disappeared after that.
Do you know how to get to the Horizon Realm, Kyle?
I don't no. I've gone. I mean, I guess we could go through probably the Chantry. Like I couldn't do it. Like I can't just go there. But yeah, the Chantry angel bitch dude is gonna probably all be cranky about it. But
Oh, are you talking about the vault that we were already at?
yeah,
So it has a connection to the Horizon Realm, theoretically?
yeah. I haven't used it since the Avatar storm. Apparently, everything's all fucked up.
Yeah, it seems to have calmed down.
Can you send a message to it? Could you include that in your text messaging? Phoning? Is it possible?
Not that I know of. I don't know anything about those other dimensional shit. That's all just a bunch of bullshit, anyways.
I'll just kind
Don't
of
matter.
like put everybody in a team huddle a la Scooby Doo. I'll just like two arms both guys, and I'll just be like, let's mess with this phone. Not a wiretap, but let's give that phone satellite capabilities. And I'm talking extreme deep space satellite capabilities.
Yeah, as I lean into that huddle, I just point at Kyle and have a look on my face of just like, you are absolutely wrong, good sir. And I just break the gaze to all right, so we can soup up his phone. We can whip that out pretty quick. Let him go to town. How do you guys feel? This might be way out of left field, but how do you guys feel about getting a present for Phaedra when she wakes up? Perhaps in the form of a ghoul police officer that could tell us why he recognized Kyle.
That was like part 3 of like the 3 things I wanted to do. I'm totally into this. Yes.
We're on the same page. This is always good to find out. So yeah, I say
Wouldn't
we.
the gift, though? Wouldn't the gift be her helping to kidnap a Gould police officer?
Yeah, but
No.
she hasn't been on her game. She might lose a leg or something like that. We could do the
No, the gift is having her help us capture the ghoul's vampire. That's the actual gift.
Well, we are running a little low on time here. We're at about 9.
Well,
9:42.
maybe we just do like a quick computer thing to figure out.
Or reconnaissance, yeah, we can
to
get into
figure out
position.
who his sire is, or something. Is that the right word? It's the vampire word, I know. So
The sire.
yeah, like let's figure out who his contact is from different data. Like we'll just like hackers this the whole time. This is like research the episode, you know.
Well, while they're doing that, I'm gonna call Moxie and my mom.
Not your dad?
He was
Oh.
just here.
Snap.
If he had something to say to me, he could have stuck around.
Oh, that reminds me.
Or wait, no.
He did have something to say to you. Sorry for forgetting about this.
Player.
He did give me a message.
SPC. Yeah, that's not Gretchen laughing. And
Yeah, so, sorry. He gave me the message. He just he told me that he looks forward to giving you a hug soon.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna start tinkering with this phone.
Harley doesn't know about that.
You're right, Harley. I should actually be helping with tracking down who the ghoul is and possible sire options. Yes.
hard on that. I could do that role. You do the phone thing, and
Okay.
Tycho does his thing, and we can whip it up in like 30 minutes. Be done. It'll be fine.
So you guys are trying to find the ghoul or the sire?
Well, we know who the ghoul is. We're trying to find the actual vampire.
Okay. Time would be very useful in this type of thing. You're probably going to need magic in order to pull that off for sure. Unless you're going to be doing like months of research, to be honest,
I was just thinking
mundanely it's going to be very hard.
I was just thinking of running another algorithm with like research. Like I know who he is. I have access to the internal affairs database, who he's been around. I'll get info from them. That was my kind of thing. So like basically what I did for the big role, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
I will also have a SIM card that I need both of you to modify because I don't have the skills that you do. I will need correspondence from Gretchen, and I will need dimensional science from Tycho.
So Malakai and I stuff are just like mechanical roles that we need to do to get info. If you want to do the last thing as like you actually talk as
Well, I would say
NPCs to Tycho, like go ahead and do that.
Even
but-
using your base, like, I would say though, in the end, you're gonna have to do magic if you want to know where the sire is. Like, I'm not gonna allow you to use base mundane stuff to figure out who the vampire, like, that stuff is really, even on normally on my stuff, that's pretty underground. Right now, all vampires are totally underground.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, I
there's-
totally plan on doing magic with this, but like going at it from like a similar standpoint from my
Oh, okay.
last magic roll. Yeah, but like maybe doing investigation since it's more of a like a cop kind of
Yeah, I would
thing.
say it would be much more investigation. Yeah, that'd be solid. Yeah, I think we'll just do another group roll again, and see what we come out with. So starting with Tycho, and we know what Gretchen has gotten, what your role will be then. Tycho, how are you going to be assisting with trying to find the sire?
Oh.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, there's actually three things
was gonna
going
help.
on.
I was gonna help with the phone.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
his phone.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're gonna help
there's-
with the phone then.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a dimensional phase chip to it, so it can actually communicate with other dimensional realms.
Oh, so you're gonna
With-
try and make it so that he
quick.
can contact his family and like the spirit form of his family.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
Horizon realm.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
And then
You know,
he's going
they're
to.
definitely not crazy spirit beings now.
Dude, your dad seems to be doing all right. Maxie seems to
Yeah,
be doing all
well-
right. But you're right that they are
Yeah.
unique.
So let's
So-
go ahead and have Gretchen. Let's have you do your role here, and we'll find out what the end result is of that first, and then we'll get into Kyle communicating with his
My
family.
assistance with the phone or my investigation into the vampire.
The investigation into the vampire. Is there anybody else that wants to help with that?
I do, but I want to conserve my actions at this moment for phone modifications.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and make your roll, Gretchen. Let's see if we can deduce who the possible sire is of this vampire.
Okay, so I'm doing intelligence plus investigation.
Yep. Difficulty is 6. All right, so difficulty 3 for your Arte roll.
4,
Oh, darn it.
7, 8. Okay. Good, because I'm like out of willpower and shit. Okay, and then no whammies. Difficulty 3. Barely. 1.
But barely.
But barely. You still got a success. I'm going to say that you don't get exactly who the vampire is, but you suspect that it is something to do with his family. And this just comes from that, like, the research that you kind of back into this is that he is related to the Giovanni. So you suspect that the sire would be, or, you know, the provider of blood, which it's not really a sire yet. But the ghouler, the master would be a Giovanni, which is a group of vampires. That's kind of talked about. They're necromants. They're weird family vampires.
I point at Kyle menacingly again for a second, just being like, "You have more hiding that you're hiding more than you're letting on," and then I just go back to go back to the work.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
how does he respond when he hears the name Giovanni?
He doesn't react at all. It's like,
Oh,
I've never
fuck.
heard of them.
Classic Kyle.
You've never heard of the Giovanni? Okay, yeah, I bet.
All right. Well, we'll have to. We're gonna have to fix you, Kyle.
The friendship's on the rocks this session.
Your guys' hatred of him is addicting. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And sometimes I feel real bad for him, and other times I'm right with you. I'm just, fuck you, man. But like, it never lines up where we're all doing the same thing. So we'll see.
All right, and then we're gonna enhance the phone. So let's go ahead and get a. I'm gonna need technology, or I'll allow you to use hypertech. Both will be at difficulty 6s though, because this is really just technology. But you can add hypertech into it if you want in order to enhance it. Difficulty,
Intelligence, wit.
intelligence. Actually, wits. I'll allow wits on this one if you got a better wits.
While my search is running for the other thing, can I help them? Because I think I'm the only one with correspondence.
Yeah, does anybody have Well, you don't really. They don't really need correspondence as much as they
Okay.
need spirit.
You got it. Never mind. Just let me know if you want me to roll.
All right,
No, I
we'll
think
start
we'll just. I think they should be able to. If not, we'll have you come in and show them how it's done.
Put the paper clip in the back of the phone. Then it'll conduct the power better.
lol.
Nice. Wow.
All right, so
You're,
Malakai, it's got 3
yeah.
successes, 4, 5, 4.
Do you have Prime, Gretchen?
No.
Okay, so I do lol at the just throw a paperclip back in there, and I'm just like,
it enhances the signal. That's literally what she will say.
the power systems. Lol.
You're just like, I just feel like you're just like, you can make a battery out of potato, but like I can make a perpetual motion machine out of a potato. You know, like you're just like, oh, you know.
I try to abide by the laws of physics. It just makes things easier in general.
Did we lose Tycho? Oh, there we go.
No, my Chrome just crashed on me.
That's pretty rare.
Literally had to.
Doesn't like
luckily,
the weird science we're doing with the computers.
Yeah, luckily it restored all my pages, so it came back really easily.
It is good about that.
Yeah, so 4 successes on my hypertech.
Yeah, difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3, yeah.
Ooh, nice. 6.
Wow. Okay, so yeah,
8
you two
total.
combined together have made a spirit phone, and you can connect it to a phone number of a dead one, and call the dead one's phone number, and instead of going to it'll go to the other realm, and there is where we're going to stop though, and I'm gonna have to come up with because I did not anticipate you guys making a spirit phone. Which is kind of cool. I like the idea, but now I'm gonna have to come up with because now you can contact his family, because his family's dead. Most of them are just
Gonna have to
in
come up
material
with
form.
what Maxie would say when Tycho calls, when his mom would say when Tycho calls.
Oh yeah,
Maybe his dad, since he knows his dad wasn't a douche, and then what Kyle's family will say when we call. Like you have like.
I'm gonna wrap it all up into one paragraph
what was
that I'll
the
just
2000s, like the top 5. You have to deal with like a whole top 5, like what would they would say, kind of thing.
Well, I assumed you had something planned out for the Moxie or Maxie and my parents.
I mean, a little bit, but mostly.
No, we can leave that till next time, especially because Phaedra will be back.
Yes,
hopefully.
Awesome, but yeah, thank you guys so much for playing. This was a great little info dump session. We'll have to get Phaedra up to speed, but now we'll see where you guys kind of want to go from here, and you guys have gotten all like these locations, different things. You guys have a lot of different options at this point. To be honest, I kind of wanted to drag you back into the Umbra, which is why I was like, we got to have like options for things for them to do in the Umbra. We've got to stop fucking around on Earth all the time, because it's Technogate. We've got to have.
Gretchen has no spirit. She will that kicking and screaming. Like this is why it turned into like the more you know, go to your local library and learn how to use databases correctly for proper research episode. Like, that's just, she was like, no, we can stay on the DeLorean.
Awesome.
Yep. I had a really fun time in both the Dreaming and Autochthonia. I don't think I was around for the Mars when they were on Mars, and so like I want to go to both of those places. Although I am terrified. I don't know if I actually mentioned this when I thought it. A vision of the Dreaming, but it's also my old nightmare of the pirate ship, and except that now it's all covered in black. The crystal in the Dreaming is going to be real fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be some interesting stuff that for you guys to encounter. Yeah, so I've got a lot of stuff out there for you, and we'll have to see where we all land here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and have a great night.
Yeah, good night, everybody.